Hi, I'm Chan from BananaMana Films. Today we're testing the Sennheiser AVX Wireless system, which is a new addition to their wireless family. We used to use the EW100 G2s and G3s. New thing that we really like is that their antennas are really nice and sturdy here, so they don't get bent and floppy like the old antennas, which we like. These are also digital, and they're using a new frequency of about 1.9 gigahertz or in that range. They're not using UHF, and they're digital, so you don't get those audio interference signals that often sound like a sound when it goes in and out or it's being interfered with. What it does automatically is it will change frequency if there is interference, or it will boost power to make sure you're always getting a nice clean signal. It's also digitally encrypted, so no one else can listen into your conversation. Also, they're very, very easy to sync. Just a press of a button and the units will sync and keep sync automatically. So they'll find the best frequency, and also if there's interference, they'll increase their own power so that they keep a very clean signal going. They're also digitally encrypted, which is great, so people can't sort of listen in on your documentary or whatever you're recording at the time. Now, apparently you can run up to 8 of these units in the same area at any one time, so we got really interested in whether or not we could use these for drama productions. In particular, what was interesting for us is that there is a kind of a normalization feature in this unit, which allows you to have much more dynamic range. So when actors speak really quietly, it kind of boosts their audio a little bit without really boosting the noise floor. And when they shout suddenly, or when their voice gets really loud, it kind of has a limiter. And apparently it's really, really hard to make it peak or clip. And we're going to test that in a little while. But in the meantime, we have 2 microphones on me at the moment, and I just want to test it. It's the MKE2, the digital version, so you can't pop the analog version onto these units. There's a digital microphone version, and we have the ME2 on the other side. The MKE2 is a slightly more expensive one, higher grade, so we're just going to have a listen to the MKE2 now. This is the MKE2. We're testing in an environment where we have air conditioning on, a fan, and some traffic outside the window. And let's have a listen to the noise floor. And now let's have a listen to the ME2. This is the ME2 with air conditioning, fan on right above me, and some traffic outside. Let's have a listen to the noise floor. So now we're going to test the Sennheiser AVX system and its dynamic range. What we've done is the Sony A7S Mark II is set with its audio gain down to level 1, which is as low as it can go. And with the Juice Link, what we've done is we've just amped up the preamp so that on my loudest shout, it's just about 2 or 3 bips off the red indicator on the Sony A7S Mark II. The reason we did that is the A7S Mark II, we've noticed, has its own inbuilt limiter. And what that does is if I shouted or went too loud, the limiter would kick in and my voice would sound really thin up there. So what we've done is made sure that we're not engaging the camera's audio limiter, but we're going to test the Sennheiser audio limiter to see how far we can push it. So we're going to see if I can really sort of reduce my volume a lot. And this is very, very low volume. So actors like to sometimes speak really quietly. Sometimes they'll whisper. This is a real whisper. It's not even a projected whisper. But then from time to time, they might speak a little bit louder, and sometimes you can't control the volume of their speech. But apparently one thing that the Sennheisers do is kind of normalize the volume a little bit without affecting too much the noise floor. So we're going to test that a little bit. So we just have a listen to the noise floor at the moment. So that was the noise floor in a room with air conditioning on. Up there we have a fan on directly above me at its lowest setting, and there's cars passing the windows over there. We want to see how quiet it can be in terms of background sound. And now we want to just test how loud I can be all of a sudden. So if I suddenly go from a very soft speaking passage to a loud passage, how would the Sennheisers cope with that? Normally, we would have to ride the meters on the audio preamp. We would have to ride it up and down through the scene to make sure that we don't peak. Certainly, we wouldn't be able to do this without someone controlling the meters. So what we're going to do later is we're going to clean this all up and normalize it a little bit in post and see if we can use the really, really soft segments as well as the really loud segments. If this works, it would be fantastic, because what we'd like to do is test out this system in a drama using 3, 4, up to 8 units at a time, and not have to ride the meters of everyone speaking. So it allows the actors a lot more freedom, allows us more freedom, and hopefully it means that we can be far more efficient in terms of capturing great audio, great sound for dialogue in a feature film or narrative situation.